Today we find out just how much of a footballing genius I am as we look back at my 2025-26 Cymru League's predictions. It was the final season of the Super 12 format in the Cymru Premier, wasn't it? And in the Cymru South and Cymru North, 3 teams were due to be promoted from each division to make up the new 16-team Cymru Premier format for the 26-27 season. And to be honest, looking at my predictions, they're not too bad. There are some shockers. I'll just put it out there. But overall, I'm relatively happy with some of my calls. So yeah, let's get into it. And we'll start with the Cymru South. So this is what I said, 9 months ago. Our top 3, I think Newport City will win the league. They'll be champions. Pontypridd, just because obviously they've taken bulk of Thomas's squad, so they'll be able to replicate what they did last season potentially. And it's Aberystwyth. I do fancy whether the rebuild's going to be too much for Aberystwyth, given how well they adapt to the new league. I'm going to go Trefelin. Lee Trundle will get Trefelin to the Cymru Premier. That's my prediction. Top 3. Not a great prediction, was it? 1 out of 3. And to be fair, I live in North Wales. I'm not 100% familiar with football in South Wales. So give me that. But yeah, Newport City, I had them as champions after they finished 3rd the season before. I really did think they were going to have a strong season. But they ended up finishing 10th in the league. Pontypridd, they had as 2nd. They finished 5th the season before. They took a lot of the Tre Thomas Bluebirds squad, didn't they? I thought, again, relatively big club for that league. They had a shocker. I think they had a couple of management changes and they finished 11th. The one I did get right, Trefelin, they ended up champions. I think it went down to the final day as well. It was between them and Cambrian United. Obviously, they both came up in the end due to the 3 teams coming up. But yeah, it was really close to the wire, and I think it was decided on the final day. And then the 3rd promoted team were Ammanford. I did not have this at all. I did not call that. I did not even consider them, I don't think. I did mention Cambrian United in my video. I mentioned Aberystwyth Town as well. I was kind of proved correct with those because they did come down from the Cymru Premier and they had to rebuild their squad, and they did, let's be honest, they did struggle, although they did come good towards the end of the season. Had a good run, and for a while it looked like they might edge into that final promotion position, but it wasn't to be. So it was between Ammanford really and Caernarfon Ely for that 3rd place. And I think that also went down to the final day as well, if I'm not mistaken. But obviously Ammanford got over the line. So yeah, Trefelin were champions, Cambrian United 2nd and Ammanford 3rd. And all 3 of those teams have been confirmed. They've got the correct licensing and they've been confirmed as Cymru Premier teams for the new 2026-27 season. So in terms of the Cymru North, let's see what I said last year. Who was it going to be? So I'm thinking Airbus as champions. Holywell finished 2nd. Llandudno. I fancy Llandudno for some reason. Or maybe Real back-to-back promotions. What do you think? Real. Let's go Real 3rd. Be good to see Real back in the Cymru Premier. Yeah. Airbus, Holywell and Real. So yeah, that wasn't too bad. 2 out of 3. I had obviously Airbus as champions, which I don't think was unreasonable, and Holywell as well. again, that's not an unreasonable shout given how both teams have performed in the Cymru North over the last 3 or 4 seasons. But yeah, Llandudno finished 5th. I think the season before, after obviously their well-documented struggles with not having a home and stuff. But yeah, they absolutely smashed it in the end. Finished on 80 points. One of the youngest managers in the league as well. If I'm not mistaken as well, Jordan Hadaway will be one of the, if not the youngest, manager in European top flight football next season, which is quite impressive. And so yeah, and then I had Rill finishing 3rd. It was a bit of an outside shout. Obviously, a big club really in Welsh football, are they, Rill? But yeah, it was a bit of a long stretch given they'd only just been promoted from the Ardal Northwest the season before. And then Newtown as well, again similar to Aberystwyth, they struggled, and they were well off it really. They weren't anywhere near the top 3 in the end. So yeah, all those 3 clubs, Llandudno, Airbus and Holywell, have been confirmed. They've got licenses for the upcoming 26-27 Cymru Premier season, which I'm particularly chuffed for Holywell as well, because they've had well-documented issues with getting their licence over the last couple of seasons, and they obviously won the league, didn't they, a couple of seasons ago, and I don't think they applied for a licence, so they didn't get promoted that season, which was a shame. So in terms of the Cymru Premier, let's have a look and see what I said last year. In terms of predictions, I think TNS will win the league again, but I think Caernarfon will run them close. I think Caernarfon will have learned a lot from last season. They've added a few players as well, and I'm expecting Caernarfon to have another strong season. Haverfordwest County, I don't know. I just don't know. They've not. It doesn't look like they've been able to replace the players they've lost, which I think could be a bit of a worry. Yeah, I don't know. So I think TNS and Caernarfon will be 1st and 2nd. I think Caernarfon will finish 3rd, which potentially could be a European place, but that will be dependent on the winners of the Welsh Cup. I think Connors Quay will get 4th. Yeah, they'll improve because they finished in the bottom 6 last season, didn't they? But I think they will be able to improve. Haverfordwest County, I don't think it will be as bad as the previous season that they qualified for Europe, where they did, I think, finish in the bottom 6. I think they'll finish 5th. And Colwyn Bay, I think they've recruited well. Got a good manager in Michael Wilde. He'll know the league, and I think they'll just get into the top 6 there. So that means that potentially we're having Connors Quay, Haverfordwest, Colwyn Bay. So in terms of the top of the playoff conference, because they qualified for the playoffs as well, Cardiff Met, Barry maybe. I don't know. I think I'm going to go Cardiff Met. They always seem to have half decent seasons, and thereabouts in the playoffs. So yeah, we'll go for Cardiff Met. So yeah, champions TNS, 2nd place Caernarfon, 3rd place Caernarfon, which potentially could be Europe. Connors Quay 4th, Haverfordwest 5th, Colwyn Bay 6th, and 7th place Cardiff Met. And who wins the playoffs? It's playoffs. Colwyn Bay win the playoffs. So I'm pretty happy with that. 5 out of 6 correct in the top half. Not positions, obviously. I'm not that much of a genius. I didn't get the 7th place in the bottom half right either, did I? But yeah, TNS had them as champions. That was a fairly straightforward prediction. Caernarfon finishing 2nd. Yeah, I thought they'd kick on. but they had an awful season, particularly the second half of the season. Although there's a bit of mitigation because he lost a couple of key players to English clubs in the January transfer window. So after that, I don't even think they won a game until the European playoffs. And obviously they won that, didn't they? Beat Colin Bay at Colin Bay on penalties, and then beat Barry as well. Beat Barry at Barry, which, given their form, was a pretty impressive achievement. But yeah, Connah's Quay, they finished second. I did obviously call that they were going to have a good season, particularly after they finished 8th the season before. John Disney's first season as a manager. Bit unsure how it was going to go, but yeah, wow, they really kicked on, didn't they? And had a great season, finishing second, getting automatic Europe. I had Caernarfon in third, but Barry were the surprise packages of the season, really. They did finish 7th last season to get into the European playoffs. But yeah, they had a brilliant season, didn't they? But look at how tight that is between, well, 3rd and 6th, really. But yeah, Barry 3rd. And then Caernarfon in 4th. They had a great season playing at Llandudno as well. And yeah. And then who else did I have? Haverfordwest, I think I had in 5th. Again, I did think they lost a few key players, didn't they, in the summer? And obviously with the European campaign, there was evidence to suggest they were going to struggle, which they did. But obviously they did get into the playoffs via finishing 7th in the bottom half. And then 6th, Colin Bay, they had a great season. They actually finished 5th, didn't they? And they were probably unlucky not to finish a little bit higher, given how close the league was in terms of that 5th, 4th and 3rd positions. Like a point in it, wasn't there? So yeah, and then Penabon obviously got Europe. So overall, very interesting season. And it'd be interesting to see how, particularly that group of clubs below the New Saints, I think it's a very competitive league. There's not much in it, so it make for an interesting season next season. Now, in terms of the cup competitions, the League Cup, the Nathaniel MG, and the Welsh Cup, let's have a look at what I predicted last season. Of the League Cup, the Nathaniel MG Cup, to give it its proper name. TNS did the treble last season, didn't they? Just for a bit of interest, I'm going to go for someone a bit left field. Let's go Caernarfon. I think that'd be good to see Caernarfon lift a bit of silverware. And the Welsh Cup as well, 3rd oldest football competition in the world. Again, TNS won it last season. They beat Connah's Quay. Connah's Quay won it the season before, though. Remember, they beat TNS in the final then. Let's go Penabon. I think Penabon will win the Welsh Cup. And they've got a strong side. I think they'll kick on again this season. Listen, I'm going to take a bit of credit for that, for predicting a non-TNS or Connah's Quay winner of both competitions, given the two clubs' dominance over the years. So yeah, obviously Caernarfon League Cup winners. They actually won the Welsh Cup, didn't they? The actual League Cup winners were Barry, and it turned out the Welsh FA are scrapping the League Cup for next season and going forwards. So Barry, the last ever winners of the Nathaniel MG Cup. Obviously, Caernarfon Town as well, winning the Welsh Cup. I had obviously Penabon to win that. But yeah, that was brilliant watching that down at Rodney Parade. Absolute amazing occasion for Caernarfon. and particularly like the growth in that club over the last couple of years is immense. And now they've got Europe again, so that'll be Europe in like 2 out of the last 3 seasons, I think. Which again, for clubs in the Welsh system, that money is invaluable, and it just helps clubs kick on and improve everything from the playing staff to the facilities. They've done a lot of work, haven't they, over the last, because they've been playing in Llandudno, haven't they? While they've renovated the Oval in Caernarfon in preparation for the European Under-19 Championship, which is being held this summer in a couple of months. So yeah, there we have it. My 2025-26 prediction review, should we say. I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll catch you in the next video. Maybe another prediction video for the upcoming season in 2026-27.